Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time for another Devblog for the next major update, and one of the great things that is coming next update is of course the French Navy. Now, the French Navy has a lot of interesting ships to it, and one of them is Le Malin. So this one is coming in, it's part of the Fanatical class, and is a destroyer. It's going to be at rank 3 for the French, so this will be one of those you could probably do dailies with and also have a bit of fun with. We'll have to see how that goes with the French tech tree. A few of the other tech trees have been added for naval, which have been, let's say, a little bit anemic, so I'm hoping the same doesn't happen with the French. Let's get into the history of this machine. A series of 6 ships of the Le Fantastique class French large destroyers were built during the 1930s. All of them were in intense service in the Navy during the Second World War. All ships of this class underwent a series of important upgrades to improve combat effectiveness and also radio equipment. The destroyer, Le Malin, launched in August of 1933. Took her first battle in the spring of 1940 in the Skagerrak, and in 1942 she joined the Free French Naval Forces and participated in several Allied operations, including the landing at Anzio and the Operation Dragoon. After the end of the Second World War, the ship took part in the escort of aircraft carriers to the site of the First Indochina War. After returning, Le Malin was put into reserve and then scrapped in 1977. One of the interesting parts of this machine that is emphasized on the Devblog is this is kind of one of those heavy destroyer concepts. So it's like slightly between the idea of a destroyer and a cruiser when it comes to its guns and when it comes to its general size. Now, as somebody who has played a lot of Blue Water Naval, usually these machines don't really work too well. So I'm hoping that that isn't the case for this one. This one does have quite a beefy main armament, even if, you know, the reload of the guns is pretty slow. It has what looks like 5 MLE 1929 138.6mm guns. So these ones should do quite a decent amount of damage. Also at the same time, they do have access to semi-AP rounds, which should be quite nice. Generally, it means that you can penetrate and then do damage afterwards, which is something which feels really good on a lot of these general vehicles. One of the problems with having these quite heavy guns, though, on a destroyer platform is the simple fact that it's not going to have great reloads, and I feel like that's going to be a bit of a problem for some of these French machines. The traverse speed and also the general targeting speed on these guns is going to be a bit rough as well. So I'm hoping the caliber of the gun doesn't massively increase this thing's BR compared to other machines, just because of the fact that it has, you know, these big donkey guns on it. I'm always worried about that stuff, especially since these destroyers, which are usually heavier destroyers, don't really have extra armor or anything like that. So you're massively relying on the guns to be able to hit hard and annihilate. And sometimes they will, but a lot of the times they just won't, which is a problem. The other thing is this is a, let's call it late war configuration, or a mid-war refit. Basically, the configuration we're getting into the game is the 1943 one, when it was upgraded. So it still keeps the main guns, the 138s, but it also gets a nice complement of AA armament on it, which is quite nice. Basically, you get 2 twin-barreled and also 1 quad mount of 40mm Bofors autocannons. You also get 10 20mm Oerlikons, which will be really nice. So overall, quite a decent AA armament, especially if we're talking about a rank 3 destroyer, where a lot of them don't really get a ton of stuff. especially some of the Italian ones don't get some great stuff. Also the Japanese, like with their cruisers, they don't get like a ton of really nice AA armaments. But I'll take what is that, 8 40mm and also 10 20mm. I think overall that's quite nice. It did also get 2 additional mortars for 100 kilo depth charges. Still waiting for depth charges to actually be useful in naval. So far, I don't think there is a use for them apart from to create really annoying battle pass challenges. And one of the other things about this machine is it does say it reduced its torpedo armament. So basically, they abandoned one of the 3 triple tube launchers. So to me, that means that it still should have 2 triple tube launchers. In the pictures, I can see one that's on one of the sides, but it doesn't. Oh no, it does show the other one. So they're basically in the midship, and 3 are pointed one way and 3 are pointed another. So one of the things for me that I don't like about this configuration of torpedoes, where they don't have 360 movement, is because I play arcade naval. What generally happens is it's very hard to get a reload on your torpedoes, since you're usually only facing one way at most of the times. So if you want to get a reload on your torpedoes while you're firing your guns at stuff, you have to quickly, while the reload's going on, fire the torpedoes on the other side to not really do anything in order to get a reload for the first set, which you are actually using. And I wish there was a way that I could just launch torpedoes, indiscriminately, so just fire them as they go, and then be able to reload from there. But unfortunately right now, there doesn't seem to be. But looking at this machine, heavy guns, which would be nice. Traverse, not great, but we'll see what it actually looks like in game. The premium destroyer for France is very similar to that, and also a nice set of armaments as well for the machine. Overall, a solid one, and hopefully it's a good sign for the French tech tree going forward. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Millie Draper, Juan the Panda, Nick R. Cupila, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie B. Young, Peter Grayling, Jerry Provolt, Bareen, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, Derek R., and Lafouche for supporting the channel.